Hi, this is Jim Gibson with Blackstone Cybersecurity, and today I want to talk about e-discovery. And you may not have heard this before, but if you're a CEO or if you're running a company, you're president, you should be aware of this. And that's the possibility that someday you're going to get a request from a law firm, from the government, to produce certain types of documents. And what I want to talk about today is the email documents. It reminds me of a situation a few years ago where a very, very large corporation on the West Coast had been served with an e-discovery that they wanted to find out what type of emails they were getting on a particular subject. Now the problem was that the IT department did a great job on their backups and categorizing all this, and what they had was they had 25 years worth of emails. And it was actually filling up the warehouse. So they had backup tapes that were old, that they didn't have the material or the equipment anymore to download the backup tapes. They had to search them, things like that. So they had a lot of emails that they had to go through. And so the firm decided that it would actually be less expensive just to settle than it was to produce the emails that were necessary to prove that they were innocent. Now remember, you're the person responsible for your company, and you should have a policy concerning e-discovery. And in particular, you should have an email policy that states how long you are going to keep old emails and old media, let's say, that needs to be destroyed. Now, you got to have this policy in place before you get the demand letter to produce the information. And you have to also show at the same time that you have had, that you've had this policy in place and that you're following your policies. In fact, you know what the biggest problem I see in most companies, corporations, when I talk to them, is that the IT department controls these things. And that's sort of like the tail wagging the dog. You really need to have policies and procedures in place to take care of the IT department. You need to be directing the IT department. You need to set the standards. You know, I've seen some IT departments where they'll have one brand of firewall and another brand switch here and another router brand over here. And it's just not the way to go. But of course, they make their own decisions. They submit the request for the money to the corporation. It's approved. After all, they should know what they're doing. They're IT guys, right? And yes, most of them do know what they're doing. I don't want to beat up on your IT guy. But the bottom line is, ultimately, if you're the CEO, you're the president, you're on the board of the corporation, you become responsible for these actions that are being directed by someone in the IT department. So you need that type of advice where you can set policies, procedures, standards, and guidelines that are going to keep you out of trouble, at the same time organize your IT department. It always starts at the top. It always starts with the policies and the procedures, and you have to come up with them, and you're going to need help with that. And that's where our company comes in to view at this point, is that that's what we do. We help you with the policies, the procedures, the cybersecurity that you need to protect your network. We give you counseling. We tell you what the practice is, the acceptable industry standards. We also help you make sure that these standards are being followed, and also that the proper training to your employees and to your IT department to follow these standards and procedures. In that case, if you have the policy and procedure concerning e-discovery, then when you are presented with a demand for information, email information, and it's past your policy time period, if you can demonstrate that you've had this policy in place for a while and that you've been following it on a regular basis, then what happens is you don't have to produce that information that you no longer have. Again, if you get a demand letter from a legal firm and it's telling you they want certain emails, and you decide then to have the policy in place, and you decide then to destroy those emails, that's a totally different story. You can get yourself in trouble. Now, I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm a cybersecurity guy. I'm an IT guy. I've been doing this for many, many years, and I understand these things. But everything I say here, you really, really need to see a lawyer about to see what is acceptable in your industry. Government has different standards, and different industries have different standards. But if you think you're doing a great job as an IT guy, or you think you're doing a great job as a president or CEO or board member of a corporation, and you're just backing up all these emails over and over and over again, this may come back to bite you. Again, please call us. This is what we do for a living. We can help you in the policies, procedures. We can also help you design your IT department. We can also help you design your network, tell you what the standards are, and set you up with something that is defensible. But everything I said now, check with your lawyer. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day.